results that we can go away and work with later. Global issue sector policies, Ingrid Gabriela Hoven, how to use the insurance payments before a disaster.
It gives me much pleasure to be here. We were at the launch of InsuResilience just a couple of days ago. It was a very big event, and of course we had a number of speakers there. Today I'd like to focus perhaps on some of the nuts and bolts, if you like, in terms of some of the reasons as to why we need to build the insurance capacity, in particular in the countries or regions such as the Pacific. In 2016, last year, we had the second strongest storm ever recorded on landfall in the world until then. The strongest ever in the southern hemisphere, Cyclone Winston. It killed 44 Fijians. As said in the video, we had over 225 schools damaged, 40,000 homes damaged. Some of the schools were completely devastated. And we had a number of infrastructure that actually was damaged also. We lost nearly about a third of the value of our GDP in over a day and a half. That's the level of damage that a cyclone can actually cause. The value of our GDP is 10 billion Fijian dollars, which is about 5 billion US dollars. And that's to put into perspective. Now, what we did after the cyclone was, because of the extent of the damage, the Fijian government actually, out of its own pocket, decided to give a particular amount of money to people whose homes were damaged and were below a particular income level. So we gave them like an ATM card that had amounts of money loaded onto it, which they could redeem at hardware stores to go and buy hardware from. Now, many of these people had never used an ATM card before, so it was a good experience for them, exposure to technology. But also at the same time, we spent $125 million from our budget. Now, it meant we had to go and get more loans, etc. We are now in the cyclone season. Our cyclone season starts in November till April. If we have another cyclone, it will be very difficult for us to keep on spending that amount of money year in, year out. So what we need to do is to be able to insure those risks. Only 10% of the properties in Fiji are actually insured for cyclone cover, because insurance companies have a very high level of compliance that's required for people to actually meet the standards, the engineering standards. Most people cannot afford it. As a result of which, only 10% of the properties are actually insured. We have in recent times proposed, and we met with the Insurance Council of Fiji and various other partners. We've also been working with the World Bank to look at and quantify some of the risks, look at what products actually can be developed. What we are proposing are two types of products. One is on a parametric based product, and the other one is actually where you have properties insured but with a lesser, well, it's less onerous to comply with the standards. However, you may not be fully covered for it. So if you, for example, do some external tie downs on your roofs or get some basic strappings into the roofs, internal strappings, you may get a cover, say, up to $5,000 or $10,000. Now, what that does is two things. Firstly, it actually builds resilience in the infrastructure, because in order to even comply with that basic requirement, people will go and spend a little bit more money and get that strapping done and get the external tie downs done. And hopefully, when the cyclone comes, it actually won't get blown away. So you actually don't have that level of risk. If it does, then you actually do have the insurance cover. And as said in the video also, what we saw, and notwithstanding the fact that Cyclone Winston was actually the strongest ever to hit us at the very least, we were able to bounce back very quickly because of the fact that we injected those funds in the economy and got people to build their homes very quickly. Our superannuation fund also released some of the stringent requirements they have, so those people whose homes were damaged could access up to $5,000 to rebuild, which actually saw the economy actually not go into negative growth rate as we've seen before, but in fact it continued to grow, but at a slower rate than predicted prior to the cyclone. So it is very critical to be able to have that level of insurance. Now, what is really important, of course, is at the same time, we need to address the entire value chain, if you like, the entire process, because insurance companies in Fiji will not really be interested if the reinsurers aren't interested. And this is why this partnership is very, very important. And the partnership actually needs to look at the players behind the insurance companies. And we fundamentally believe that in order to maintain sustainability in all of these types of products, you need to have the buy-in of the private sector. Because governments can come and do it once, may be able to do it twice, development partners may come and do it once or twice, but you need durability, you need sustainability to be able to get that level of confidence, and also to be able to ensure that we build a culture of resilience within our own countries. So in fact, I don't really want to say that any more than that, but hopefully we'll have the panel discussion, but I just want to bring home the point in the practical level what insurance cover means to us. And we have, for example, in our budget this year, our financial year is from the 1st of August to the 31st of July, have allocated through our own funds $1 million to pay for insurance products for those people in low-income families in the event we develop a product in this financial year. Because we believe that there is a need to actually give that leg up initially, to get people to actually have that buy-in. And once you then, after a while, develop the greater pool, it becomes a lot more attractive, obviously, for insurance companies and everybody else. Just a short story which Commissioner Manzavesi would be interested in. We just recently started an insurance for sugarcane farmers, very basic insurance. And in fact, the Fiji Sugar Corporation, the Cane Growers Association paid for their premium, which was at no premium cost to them. You know, you get $2,000 in the event of there being a funeral, $1,000 should you get sick. If somebody dies, there's a payout of $5,000. Very basic cover. These are all Fijian dollars. And even though it was voluntary, the uptake of it was only about 40% initially. In fact, less than that. The moment somebody, unfortunately, one of the farmers died, and the wife was paid out, and it appeared in the papers, suddenly there's about 80 or 90% uptake of that insurance cover. So people actually very quickly see the benefit of it. And for us, we need to be able to build that level of confidence within the market. The last but not least is crop insurance. We're very interested in crop insurance. We know that, for example, the Indians have done it quite well. Initially, the Indian government stepped in, and they were paying premiums, and then they called for tenders, and slowly then the insurance companies became involved. Again, with crop insurance, you're looking at parametric type of product for that, and we're very keen, not just for sugarcane farmers, but that we have other products. And I think, again, it gives that particular level of confidence. When insurance companies and reinsurers are actually looking at these aspects, I would also urge them to see how individual countries are actually dealing with climate adaptation measures, how they're dealing with, predominantly adaptation measures. So if a country actually has a huge focus on, for example, flood water management, they're carrying out dredging of their rivers, it minimizes flooding. If countries are actually taking precautionary measures in respect of ensuring that the hardware products that actually enter that country actually meet a particular standard, then your level of risk is actually reduced. So I would urge all of you, when you're developing and discussing these issues, you need to be able to look at the extraneous factors. Because the reality is that most small economies actually don't produce these products themselves, the hardware material themselves. So for us, it is always, we have to play the role of a gatekeeper. There are, of course, many cheap products available, and it's more attractive for people, but you can see a cyclone. You saw a corrugated tin that was actually twisted, and others that simply just flew away. They weren't actually twisted. So that is very important. So you need to look at a country's ability to impose standards, and that's when you can sort of quantify risk, manage your risk, and actually price the risk. And that, for us, is very, very important. I'd like to once again thank this initiative. It's a wonderful initiative. And we look forward to more partners joining into this initiative. We are very keen to share our experience. We don't mind being the guinea pig. Of course, as you know, that we also recently launched the Fiji Clearinghouse for risk transfer. It's been named the Fiji Clearinghouse. Again, there's going to be a repository of information, and we need other players to come into this space to be able to use that information. And we urge the private sector. We're not asking for you to do it for free. Yes, there may be risk, but I think if you all work together, we can manage that risk. And you can make money from it too, and we will actually get that cover too. In the same way, we have launched our green bonds. We're the only emerging economy that's launched its green bonds, the third sovereign in the world after Poland and France. It's a very modest 100 million Fijian dollars, 50 million US dollars. And again, as we've said, we like private companies, even sovereigns, to buy some of our bonds. We're not asking for aid, it's not even a grant. You're actually going to make money from it. But you will actually assist us because you will give us a bigger footprint. And you need to also ensure that those people who do issue such bonds, as we have done, that you have, for example, third-party validation. We've got Sustainalytics that's actually going to ensure that the money that's raised from this actually goes towards climate change areas, mitigation, whether it's mitigation or whether it's adaptation. Of course, in countries like Fiji, we have a higher proclivity to spend our money towards adaptation measures as opposed to mitigation, given the fact that our carbon footprint is quite low. Notwithstanding that, we still have a NDC target of reducing our carbon footprint by 30% by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and look forward to the panel discussion. Naka.
I'm not entirely sure what the partnership is about. I think some people talk a lot about it, but embedded within comprehensive disaster risk management. Clearly finance has a very important role to play.
First of all, I think it's a nice opportunity to mainstream financial protection. The second point I would like to make, which was in fact made by Dr. Ngozi, is really to try to...
We're all eager to join. I'll try and get you involved a little bit sooner. Really lively discussion there. Let's just clear the stage in order to make space for the next panelists. You can take beautiful pictures down